Hi.
Hey there, how are you, Shavua Tov?
Shavua Tov.
I know you said Joey's gonna jump on.
Yeah, he actually just entered the waiting room, so I'm gonna let him in.
Okay, great. Sure. Hey, Joey. Oh.
Hi.
Hi, welcome. whatever that's like these days. Shavua Tov. It's so good to have you with us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
So Joey, Julia is here on the Zoom. She's the one who's been in communication with you and your team. And I'm Rabbi Jenny Solomon and my husband Eric, and we're the leaders of Beth Meyer Synagogue. And we're so excited to have you singing with us and just leading us in heartfelt song and prayer tonight.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be a part of this, and thanks for the invitation.
Absolutely. We've been big fans for a long time. We know many of the same people. So to have you in person and have you here, especially with our community. So the plan is going to be that we'll start right on time at 7:30. We will immediately do a super quick welcome and invite folks to light candles with us and our family. And then we'll turn it over to you.
That's great. Sounds great. And maybe could you just tell me a little bit what's going on at the shul lately? What's going on in your lives?
Much like every other Jewish community, we are, continuing to try to build a bridge to folks through this time, doing a lot of stuff on Zoom, of course, but also finding ways and times for us to gather in person, at a distance, faith coverings, yada, yada.
Yeah.
So we've been able to do that. We're getting better and better at it. Unfortunately, we've had time to figure this whole thing out.
Right.
Yeah. Eric and I.
We also can say, Joe, we have a lot of people in common. That, we actually met. We schmoozed briefly at the bar mitzvah.
Yeah, I recognize your faces for sure.
You were at the Posner Smith.
That's it. The twins, Posner Smith, B'nai Mitzvah.
Yeah, Al and Jonah.
That's right. Okay. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, you were out in the. That's right out there because I'm in this little sacristy room, a robing room.
Great. Sounds great.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
And we know Annie and Yosef, and we're old friends of Ethan and Ellie and all the Hadar folks.
First pulp was at BJ, so I know like Rolly, Ari, and Don Nadel, if you know Don. And
yeah, totally.
Forever.
Well, thanks for putting that in perspective.
Yeah. I'm friends with Deborah through Wexner and other things. So
yeah.
Lots to have you here. Thanks for making the time, especially on Hanukkah.
Yeah, it's just fun. I got to light the candles with my kids earlier, and then I just.
I figured. Good.
Good. Yeah.
Yay.
And how's stuff with how are you, Julia?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm in my apartment that I've, been in since COVID started. Like my world's gotten a lot smaller, but it's still good.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, great. Do we have a suggested time for tonight? I mean, like I know 7:30. Do we want it to be over at a firm time, or is it kind of like let's just go and see what happens kind of thing?
Let's just go and see what happens. Yeah.
Okay.
You're the main event, and we're putting our lighting in. You're the main event, and we're so, we just feel so privileged to be with you. Eric and I lead all the davening at our shul, and I'm like the main Bala Tefillah, but we sing so many of your melodies.
Yes, absolutely. We're so grateful.
Folks don't know that because, of course, when we're in the middle of the Tefillah, I don't list out the creative force behind it. But I've, in leading up to this concert, I've been trying to help people understand that so much of what we do is connected back to you and your amazing circle of Jewish musicians.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, so feel free tonight. I mean, I'm gonna play some songs and stuff, but it's always nice to have a little bit of back and forth. So, especially in this era, over this medium. So I'll, if at any point either of you wants to jump in and share a word of Torah, or you don't have to be on tonight, but in case you do, it's always nice.
Okay,
And it's like, and also I'll probably ask people to. This is going to be a Zoom call that everybody will be on screen, right?
Yep.
And do we know how many people we expect approximately? I mean, like, is it in the 25 or the 50 or the 100 or the 300?
No. I think it's in the probably around 40 to 50 Zoom boxes, but they're obviously more than one person per box.
Cool. So we might even be able to see most of them on the front screen. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. That would be great. Okay. Yeah. So people can feel free to share something, to share their reactions or tell me they don't like me or, whatever. That's good stuff because that makes it like a.
Yes.
I understand. Totally.
We get it. Totally it's really nice to feel like what we're putting out is being received in some way.
Yeah. And if anybody has requests, I can think about that.
Awesome.
I'm sure whatever you want to bring, we will receive with love and warmth. We're so excited.
Okay, great. So anything else I should know for tonight?
I don't think so. Anything logistical, Julia? I think we'll just let everybody in like in a whoosh.
30. Or like a minute before.
Yeah, I was gonna say like 7:28. and then we'll move in straight into just a quick welcome and candle lighting. Joey, do you prefer that we introduced you with a particular formal introduction, or is it okay for us to just give a warm welcome?
Yeah, please. Yeah, whatever you do is great.
Awesome.
That's our style too.
And Joe, do you have any special Hanukkah melodies or things you've created or your team?
Not particularly, although tons of stuff for Hallel, and I'll play some of that.
Okay, great. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Anything I'm familiar with, actually, it's great.
You know what we might do if you'd like, if you don't have an opening screen or something, we could play a video or something from the Hadar ensemble as people are coming in, and maybe I could just, because then people can arrive and see music happening with like the band, and then zoom in and then get to you folks.
Yes.
Great.
Is there a specific song that you want me to?
How about Shir HaMa'alot from the Hadar ensemble? It should be on YouTube, and you could just stream it. Deborah's singing, and I'm playing guitar, and it's kind of fun. And then I can play it later, and maybe they'll have heard it.
Nice.
It's nice to get some perspective, also, like what, usually this is more of a forum with people around, and so that's
good.
The
whole point. I know. My dream was really to bring you in to our community so we could do some real communal singing, but
we'll do it someday.
I'm going to keep that dream alive and one day in person.
Okay, great. What are your stories? You in your family? You have children or?
Yeah, we do. We have a senior in high school, so she's almost 18. And then we have another one who's a sophomore, almost 16, and then a little guy who is almost 9.
Oh, wow.
And they'll all come down for candle lighting and then they'll scurry away.
Yeah.
We just negotiated that. And actually our oldest is a dedicated singer and she's always writing music. So she'll sing harmony in the background, which is great.
What's her name?
And her name is Meirav.
Meirav?
Mm-hmm.
And
I love your Thursday, little sing along with your kids is so sweet. I try to catch that on Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah, that's been
amazing.
one of the best parts of COVID, has just getting to do that with them has been so great. Yeah.
Do they all enjoy it? Clearly your boys do.
Yeah, I mean, they would not be there if
they would not be there.
They don't have to do it.
Okay.
This is not like, the Jackson 5.
Okay. I figured.
Exactly.
There's a very gentle spirit that you have with them. That's great.
Yeah, that's been really very special.
Oh.
And now I'm like not wanting to do anything without them.
Yeah,
but
they'll remember this forever.
Amazing. Yeah, really gift.
Yeah, as will you, obviously.
Yeah.
It's really great. Do any of the three of them have instruments that they're fond of playing?
Yeah, my oldest guy is a really great musician. He plays piano and drums and stuff, and the others mostly sing, but I didn't even start playing music till I was 12, so.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody finds their way.
Totally. I grew up a Suzuki kid, and I had all sorts of fantasies about my children. None of them play Suzuki. We managed to escape that, but they all play an instrument and they love it. And none of their instruments go together, which is very, very much representative of who they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trumpet, piano, and ukulele. So.
Oh, cool.
But it's fun. It's always loud. And this is Kathy Kaplan, who just got on.
Wonderful.
She's our educator. She's amazing. Also a fan.
Huge fan.
Also very much involved in the Jewish music world.
I usually go to song leader boot camp, so I get to hang out with like Deborah Sachs-Mentz and Yosef Goldman and all those guys.
I've heard of them, yeah.
Yeah, I know you have. I appreciate your guidance in their life that then extends through them to me. So
that's great. Yeah. Well, awesome. I'm glad this is happening. I'm just gonna set up something for the last 2 minutes, and then I'll join you in a second.
Beautiful.
Great to meet you. Great to see you.
Okay, thanks.
All right, I'm gonna let everyone in and I'll play the music. Does that sound good?
That sounds great. And Eric's going to come in on the phone as well for candle lighting.
Okay, great.
As
Shalom, everybody. It is Rabbi Eric here. We got Rabbi Jenny and the whole Solomon Mishpacha is here. We're going to quickly move into lighting candles for Hanukkah together. And then without further ado, we'll start our concert. Which we're so excited for. We're honored to have Joey here and all of you here. So I'm going to turn over my thing so I can get Rabbi Jenny here in our Hanukkah here right by the window.
So I want to invite anyone else who has not yet lit Hanukkah candles tonight to prepare to light with us. May Rav and his D come over for your shamash. We'll light the candles and bless together, and then we will turn it over to Joey.
Tony, you want to stop there? Go over there, please. Go.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav,
v'tivanu lehaneg shel Chanukah. Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa nisim la'avoteinu בימים ההם הזמן הזה. הנרות הללו אנחנו מדליקים על הנפלא, יד התשועה ויד המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה, על ידי כהניך כהניך הקדושים ראש מנת חנוכה, הנרות הללו קודש אין לנו רשות להשתמש בהם אלא לראותם בלבד, כדי להודות הלל לשמך הגדול על ניסיך ועל מפלותיך Ma'otzor Yeshuati, Lehana Beati, Kon Betefilati, Todan Ezabea, Neetachim Mavea, Mitzvaram Nabea, Azek Mor Beshir Mismor, Hanukkah Mizbeach, Azek Mor Beshir Mismor, Hanukkah Mizbeach. Okay, we did it. So happy Hanukkah, everybody. For those, I see some people lit their candles, which is awesome. Maybe I'll turn around like this. You can see the Hanukkah in the background. There we go. Okay. So without further ado, we are so excited. Both Rabbi and Jenny and I are huge fans of Joey Weisenberg. You are in for a real treat. For those of you that have not had the opportunity yet to see Joey or his ensemble in various places, you certainly can Google it afterwards to the Hadar Rising Song Institute. We'll have more information and ways you can follow. I'm sure perhaps even Joey will talk about it. But you all are actually familiar with a significant part of Joey's music or his team, because many of the liturgical melodies and songs and aspects of davening, tefillot, Rabbi Jenny and I have integrated into the prayers that we do at Beth Meyer. So if you notice that some of these, you say, I've heard that one before or that melody before, don't be surprised. And it's the highest form of flattery is to take a wonderful nigun or melody and davening and to integrate it into our tefillah, because that's how much we really honor Joey's work. He's creative, he's an artist. He's had a huge influence on the Jewish world, continues to do so. And we really feel so blessed. We originally thought perhaps we'd have him come down to Raleigh, God willing, to say next year in Raleigh. Maybe we'll make it happen. But in the meantime, we figured on this one, we feel so fortunate to have the schut, to have him available on the Saturday night of Hanukkah for a special concert for our community and for friends. So really, Joe, we are so blessed to have you. Welcome to our community. Bruchim Habayim. Happy Hanukkah. And without further ado, I turn it over to you to lead us in song.
Amazing. Hi, everybody. How's it going? I'm just going to switch my screen because I want to be able to see all of you a little bit. Great. Hi. Nice to be here with you, and thank you so much to Rabbi Eric and Rabbi Jenny and Julia and Kathy and the folks who put this together. I'm just going to sing a song or two and we'll get started that way. And then if at any point that you all have any questions or any thoughts about what's happening in your minds as you're hearing this music, it'd be really nice to hear some of that. So here's Gam Ki Elech, which is, as many of you know, as well as me, a song that's often sung at this time of the week. Gam Ki Elech, B'Geit Zamavet, Lo Yirara, Ki Ata Imani, Shivtecha U'Mishantecha, Hema Yirachamuni, Shivtecha U'Mishantecha, Hema Yirachamuni. Tarov lefanai shulchan, Eged zor derai, Tishantam, B'shemen roshi, Kosi revaya, revaya. So by the way, I know obviously I can't really hear you at all, But it's still nice if you're able to join in whatever way you can by singing or by moving throughout this whole evening. And I can feel that and I can hear it sort of metaphysically. Okay. Ach tov v'chesed yedefuni kol yemei chayai v'shavti b'veit Adonai v'yorei yamim v'yorei yamim la 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 tira la 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 Oh, thank you. So it's nice to just start. I've actually been singing all day long because we've been, it's Hanukkah and it was Hallel this morning and in the backyard, my kids and I go out and there's a little chevra of other Jewish families in the area and they kind of come over and pick different parts of the yard and we sing Hallel together on Hanukkah. It's been really sweet. Maybe I'll sing a few of those in a little while. But here's Shochein Ad, which is a song that I've really enjoyed playing. And it's from the Shabbat Shachrit. I don't know, is this, rabbis, is this one that you sing at the shul ever? Okay. Befi Yeshari Tisala Tisala Uediberei Tzadikim Yisbara Shochein Ad Mamaroi V'kadosh Shemo Shochein Ad Mamaroi V'kadosh Shemo. I was really enjoying that harmony singing that was in the candles this morning. That was just now. That was really, was that Meirav singing? That's really beautiful harmonies. And I would like to hear it someday, this song. Uvil shon Hasidim Tizrama Mamam Tizrama Uvekeren Kedoshim Tizkadam Amas Tizkadam Shochein Ad Mamaroi V'kadosh Shemo Shochein Ad Mamaroi this song these words, which mean, I'm sure some of you know as well as me, but up above, Shochein Ad, there's this celestial song that's being sung by all of the angels. We talk about it over and over again on Shabbat morning in the Siddur. The songs of the angels. And then a step down from the angels are these righteous people, the tzaddikim, the chasidim, etc., that out of their mouths are also pouring songs. And then we get down to our level. Occasionally we might even be tzaddikim. All of us are at some point, righteous people. But we get down to our level, and it says, Uvamakalot rivavot, the normal people who get together like we are tonight, normal choirs of singers, normal people getting together and offering our songs. And so it really spans the whole vertical spectrum. Uvamakalos rivavot Amechom Beis Yisrael Berina Yisboar Shimecha Bechol Dor Vador Shocheina Thank you. Well, it's a pleasure to be playing these songs for you, with you. I wonder if anybody has any thoughts, that are bubbling up as they're hearing these songs, or questions, or pieces of wisdom. Yeah. What kind of Jewish crowd is this?
Normally allowed.
No objections?
Joe, can you hear me? Can you
Yes.
hear us? Okay. Can we ask you a question?
Yes, please.
Okay. So is there like a process you have for coming up with new melodies and matching them with parts of the tefillah? Or do you kind of pick a tefillah or line and then a melody comes? Or how does that creative process work? I'm sure it's maybe complicated, but can you offer for lay people?
Oh, yeah. So, with this song, Shochein Ad, it has a nusach. And the way you hear it in shul normally is Shochein Ad marom v'kadosh shemo. Maybe raise your hand if you've heard that in shul before, if you've gotten there early. Right. And so this song is that nusach, but it's stretched out and given a beat. Right, so instead of Shochein Ad marom vik, it's Shochein Ad marom. You hear it? Vikadosh shemo Shochein Ad. Just the nusach, the prayer chant. Darom Vikadosh Shemo Hadadadam. It just goes, so I didn't really have to write that song. It was already there. But in general, sometimes music is made via inspiration and sometimes via craft. And as maybe some of you are artists, but everybody is in one way or another in life. Sometimes you're inspired and a melody comes whole straight to you, and other times you use your professional craft and you think about the notes and you nudge them around a little bit and try to get something to happen. But a lot of times the very best melodies, the very best songs come just when you're not even expecting it, you're not even trying. Honestly, the very best songs have come when I'm just sitting down with people like you all in person and I just start singing something and the melody is right there. And just make it up as we're going. Does that make sense, folks? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to keep playing some songs. I tell you what, I'm going to play a song right now that is still unfinished so that you can get a sense of what it's like when they're kind of in process. All right. And this is from Psalm 116, which we say on Hanukkah in the Hallel. We don't say it on many other Hallels because sometimes it's truncated out. It's a particularly hard bunch of words, not just to say, but what they mean. There's lots of suffering in these words, and I'm sorry if that seems like a downer on Hanukkah. That we want to always just be freilich and upbeat, but at its heart, Hanukkah also contains a lot of destruction and suffering and survival, right? And the writer of this psalm is talking about how he's been surrounded by the you can look it up at your will in Psalm 116, but the cords of death have surrounded him, and the narrowness of Sheol, of that place down below, is holding on to him. That Tzara v'Yagon, he finds himself in a place of suffering, and yet even from there he's realizing that he's still alive, which is actually, I think, for some of us is our experience this past year. It's not been easy for many of us. So if you don't mind, just been writing this song in the last few weeks, thinking about these words. Hashem gamal alaychi Omor Chlatsta nafshi mimaves Ezeni midima Esragli midechi I know yidiro lilolo Esalech livnei Hashem be'atzos achayim Emanti ki adaber ani aniti me'yon ani amati בחפשי כל אדם כוזב אוי אלוהי 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 טינה לה 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 אוי אלוהי 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 טינה לה 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 אלוהי לה 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 אוי אלוהי Thank you. Any thoughts about that one as it's developing?
Joe, first of all, it was beautiful. I'm reading some of the comment. I don't know if you can see the chat, but some people are saying here the music makes me feel relaxed. It's meditative, and particularly this is actually our president here. Beautiful, sounds like a finished piece to my ear, she says.
Right.
and she and her family are great musicians too, so that's a high compliment.
Yeah. Thank you. This is a tough piece, right?
It is tough.
It's a tough piece of liturgy. It's a tough piece of writing. And yeah.
But one of the things that I love so much about that interpretation, in the same way that we can't see the light without the dark, when we sing Hallel, there is, of course, this quality of praise and jubilation, but it becomes even more vibrant and sort of heartfelt because we understand it in the midst also of our suffering. And you really, sometimes when I lead Hallel or I chant it myself, like it only feels happy. And I appreciate the differentiation. It sweetens it in its own way.
Yeah, it's really interesting because Hallel is, you'd think if you were, say, coming out of the Baptist tradition or something, to say hallelujah is like, it's always upbeat and always like kind of overwhelming, the upbeat and amazing. And the Jewish version of Hallel is quite different. It's we say like this when we're saying hallelujah. We say Odecha ki ani tani. We're like, we're so thankful because you brought me down and made me poor, but then you brought me back up again, right? And then it goes on like that, and it reaches a climax. It says, Zeh hayom asa Adonai. This is the greatest day ever. Nagila v'nismecha avo. Let's be happy and sing and sing and sing and be happy. And then the next line is, Ana Hashem Hatzli Hoshiana. God, save us now. Right? And so it's like kind of the manic depressive version of of giving praise. So. But towards that end, I think I'll play you an also not upbeat version of Odecha, which is, the second line is one of my favorites that has to do with Hanukkah, which is that there was a stone that the builders of the temple were getting ready to lay the foundations, and they were picking out their stones, and they threw this one stone away. And David the king comes by and says, "Hey, that looks like a pretty good stone to me." And so it becomes the cornerstone of the entire temple, right? Which is many of the things that we overlook become actually the most important things in our lives or in the world. And that's the essence of Hanukkah, which means to dedicate, like to dedicate the temple. And it also means from the word chinuch, which means to educate. The Piazetzner Rebbe always used to teach that when we're educating, we're trying to see something in a young person or in an old person that hasn't yet come into the world. Even the word in Latin with like a duck, education, like leading something out from where to where it could be. So here's a version of that. It's not exact. The words are not all upbeat. They're quite tricky. And so I play this a little bit. When I was growing up in Milwaukee, I used to play the blues. When I was 12, I played in smoky, disgusting blues bars, and where just all kinds of wonderful things would happen. But it was like almost the opposite of a sacred environment, but but the feeling and the passion is very similar to what I hear in Jewish nigunim. Just a deep, heartfelt feeling. So I'll play a little bit of blues with this prayer. Adonai Nagila V'nismechavo Zeh hayom asa Adonai Nagila V'nismechavo So, Odecha. I'm sorry, for better or worse, that's the way I feel Hallel. I feel it very, sometimes it's not too encouraging, but it's also feels real. And that's how I feel lately. So I hesitate to bring this out for those of you who live down in bluegrass country. But I thought I'd play you a little mandolin. What I noticed from coming down into your part of the world was that about 40% of adults can play the mandolin better than anything I've ever seen. I don't know if that's true for any of you. Haven't gotten to play this for a while. The mandolin for me is something that I usually play with people in groups, and it's nice to have I decided, you know what? Let's bring this out. Let's do this thing. Okay. Is this a song that you ever sing with your shul? Okay, so maybe you can all join me. This is the mandolin is a funny instrument. It's like you know how some people get depressed in different when it gets to be wintertime and there's not enough light. So the mandolin, whenever the seasons change, and today it went in Philadelphia from being super cold to being super hot, and the mandolin is like it works. It doesn't stay tuned when things like that happen.
Joey, that was so beautiful. It's a favorite of our community. So thank you for sharing that with us in a very unique, beautiful way. Joey, I'm wondering, Eric and I are passionate about singing Nigunim, and we do that with our community often. Eric and I actually met and fell in love in Yerushalayim about 25 years ago.
I've heard of that place.
Yeah, I figured. And we davened at Yakar for several years, and we would sit around Shabbos tables and sing for hours. So Nigunim are very special to us, but I'm wondering if you can share a little bit. For those who don't know, Joey has literally several collections of music of CDs that are just Nigunim, and he's written and taught extensively about sort of the depth and meaning of wordless melodies. But I'm wondering if you can elaborate on that for just a little bit with our community.
Yeah, it's awesome. You know, the nigun is the wordless melody, but sometimes you put words to the nigun, right? So it's like, but almost all the time, if you go for long enough, the words fall away, and you're just living in the land of pure lai lai lai, nai nai nai, oy vavoy, bim bam. It really, whatever comes out from your mouth is really the right way. And the idea there is that you might be singing something with words, and words, as many of us know, that words are important in the Jewish tradition, right? And the poetry and the thought processes and the arguments that have been written down for thousands of years stick with us. But there comes a point where you can't express some of the deepest feelings and deepest prayers that you have through words. That you have to let those feelings just bubble up and come out of you as basically pure music, as pure expression. And that's what the tradition of Nigun is all about. So we might be singing Shochenad or any melody, and then after a while we let the words go and we just let the melody come out. And for me, that's always spoken to me. You know, I really like words, so it's a yes and. But I first got into Jewish music when I was a teenager. I'd heard Jewish singing and the chazan all my life, but I didn't really notice it. It was part of the wallpaper. And then I started hearing, I went across town to the Hasidic side of Milwaukee, where the Twersky family lived, and my grandfather was a quasi-chassid of theirs, and singing at their table was just one of the most amazing things. And they'd always be singing with all the family around these deep, long, slow melodies. And the idea was that you don't want to rush. You want to just sit in the melody and let it become something like to soak in it a bit. So, you know, I could go on about this for hours. Any thoughts about that from any of you all? You can just click on mute and start talking if you want to. Any objections? Yeah. Great. Well, do you mind if I play another song? Okay. Or are there any requests? Except for not Am Yisrael Chai. So here's a melody for that I haven't really played very much in the world yet, and that goes with another one of the Psalms. The words are famous, and lots of melodies have been written for it. Esa Einai el Haharim, that I lift my eyes up to the heavens. I lift my eyes up to the Harim, the mountains, and I ask, where will my help come from? Me'ayin yavo ezri. There's lots of ways that people think about that. And so imagine, and then it says, Ezri me'im Hashem, my help will come from existence itself, from God, from whatever's bigger than me. Because that is the maker of the Shemayim and the Aretz. You know, so I imagine standing before a mountain, and it looks very big. But if you then zoom out, suddenly you're able to see that the mountain is just but one piece of the heavens and the earth, right? It's a much bigger picture. And similarly, when we're in our panicking or being anxious or being whatever feelings we're having, and we're thinking, wow, COVID's going to go on forever, or I'm going to get sick, or all of these things that are our own solace. You know, that then we zoom out a little bit also and say, my help comes from, I notice that the picture is much bigger than me. And I think that's the way that the writer of this psalm was helping us to see the bigger picture of what we're a part of. The bass line in the guitar part is moving up like climbing a mountain in the first section. In the second section, you climb back down.
Joey, maybe you'll share with us the Shira Malot that we opened up with.
Yeah, I love that.
And have a final request, maybe of a Lincoln's Nigun.
Oh, that's great. Okay, thanks. All right. So the words, many of you might know these words from Shuv Adonai Yechevitenu Kafikim Ba'negev Hazor Bedima. Those words, Hazorim Bedima. Those who sow in tears should reap in joy, or could also be those who sow in tears with joy will reap. With song will reap. Right? And Shuva. Maybe if you wouldn't mind joining me, if you can sing along, even with the hum or with the nigun. Those without the words sometimes reaches even higher. right. So yeah, let's go ahead and play Lincoln's Niggin. This is the one that you sing at shul. Yeah. So yeah, I wrote this melody a while back. I always used to enjoy reading some book about Abraham Lincoln every summer if I could. I've been missing that over the last few years, but I was on a roll for a while. And this one time I read Chain of Rivals by Doris Kearns Goodwin, and which I really enjoyed. And it talked about all of the soldiers who would march out into the field, and they were marching and they were standing in the field waiting for Lincoln to pass by. And Lincoln would come, and as Lincoln came through the ranks, they would open out to the left and to the right to basically give room for the royalty to come through. And so that very night that I wrote the melody, it was Kabbalat Shabbat, and it was Lechadodi, and it says Yaminu Smol Tifrotzi, to the left and to the right they shall part. You know, in this case, waiting for a different royalty, which is the Shabbos Queen. Well, thank you. It's been such a pleasure to be with you all tonight. And I wondered if anybody else has any thoughts or questions. This is what helps make, I just really enjoy knowing, like, what are people thinking about around the country? Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, if anyone would like to just even write a question in the chat box or a comment in the chat box, just feel free to do so.
Yeah, no pressure. I just mean, you know, like, it's like we sing this song called Duror Yukra, proclaim freedom for the Bain in the Bat, for all of us to, you know, for some of us that means to dance or to you know, bring their own thoughts. I just know that there's lots of wisdom in this room, and I'm wondering if I can see a peek at it. Yeah.
People might be a little shy, but
Yeah, that's okay. No pressure.
I know it's okay. No, I appreciate the invitation. I just hear there's some comments here. Fantastic performance from Gail Barron and Shavotov. Sharon Mills says, thank you for sharing beautiful music with us. And Alema, wonderful. Thank you. These are some of our wonderful daveners and musicians. Thank you so much, Anita. Enjoyed the jazz, the mandolins. We're just basically giving wonderful compliments of our.
And rabbis, any thoughts from the two of you, or?
I have thought, but I'll let you go first. Yeah.
Well, one thing that I want to share, Eric and I are lucky since we share a home and a life and a career that we get to continue to lead davening together and harmonize. But one of the things that I miss most is singing with my community. And in moments like this, I feel both like the joy of your music, but also a simultaneous sorrow of missing what it is to hear all of our voices together, and to hear people break free with the nigun, or break free with their own harmony. And I'm curious to hear what it's like for you. This is your life and your livelihood. Obviously, you make music for yourself and you have a beautiful family to sing with, but I imagine you feel some of the same longing and yearning that I do, and that I know so many of us do.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, you know, there's a sense, when COVID first started, there was, I had been traveling a fair amount, and so it was nice. It's been really nice to step back from that. A little bit financially daunting at times, but it's been nice to just to find different ways of engaging with the world and with the music. And for me, I'm actually, in case it's not totally obvious, I'm definitely an introvert, and I spend a lot of time with people doing things in the world and trying to get them to happen. But you know, like, it's nice to have quiet time in between all of that, and I know that's true for many of you as well. And you know, so this has been a really nice time for me to explore that side of life, of just being quiet and not having so many things going on. And musically, it's been nice also to get to reconnect with the instruments in a different way, also to just get to play with just me and the guitar or something. It's a whole different experience than when I'm cultivating the entire room of singers, or bringing the band together, and where the idea is to get out of the way as much as possible. Here, it's kind of okay and expected that I'm just going to play all of the songs. You know, I'm just going to do it, and it's nice. It's nice to have that opportunity. So yeah, but it's definitely been it's been sad to see the suffering and the sadness in the world. You know, and so a lot of the music that I've been writing has been reflecting that feeling as well, and that's okay, because there's other times that are going to be more happy, or that have been. So maybe, if you don't mind, can I play one more song to finish off the night?
Yes, please, by all means.
And I think I'd like to play a song that I haven't really played very much for quite a while, but it's for the words El Adon, which I almost think of as a Hanukkah song because it's so full of discussion about the light that comes from all, the lights that come out from the world and how they're so connected with the angels and they're singing. So let me give that a shot. This is from, I know some of you know this better than me, but this is from the Shabbat morning services. Tovim me'orot shebara Eloheinu. So good are the lights that have been created. Meleim ziv. The world is full of this amazing light. I'm just trying to think of what are the other. Na'azivam bechol ha'olam. There's talk about Noga and this light that we have in us, but that is really a reflection of the divine light. And here we go. El Adon al kol hamasim baruch mevorach mefi kol neshama God lo v'tuvo malei olam da'zutuna sovevi moto. Hamid Achayot HaKodesh v'nedar b'chavod al HaMerkava oy zechut u'mishor lifnei chiso chesed v'rachamim lifnei chivod. Maybe I'll just interrupt this song for a second just to ask you, tell me the name of your shul.
Beth Meyer.
Right, and so Meyer, it was probably a name, but what also does it mean? Like
illumination. We call it human illumination. Yeah, we used to. Yeah.
Right, and so the sort of the house of light that we're really, I'm hoping we're, through this song and through all of the work that we're all doing together, able to bring that light out. Tovim me'orot, the me'orot, the meir, shebara Eloheinu yitzaram bidas bevina uvaskel koyach ugvura natan bahem dios moshlim bekerev tevel. Meleim ziv mefikim noga na'ezivam bechol ha'olam oy semechim etzeitam besasim bevoam osim b'yeima ritzon koinam p'yemech avononim li Azalivana Shevach Nodnim Lo Kol Ziva Maro Tiferes Ugedula Sirafim Beofanim Bechayos HaKodesh Tirolo, irolo, tirolo, Well, thank you so much.
Kol hakavod, Joy, what a gift. You mamash gave us a Hanukkah gift, my friend. We are so grateful to you for coming and spending this Motzei Shabbat and the special Hanukkah night with us. You know, I'm thinking like you really are, you've helped us be a shamash. You know, you've helped light a candle for us during the year and during this challenging time, but you really did, especially this Hanukkah, to give us some light and really lead us and end us with light here, Meir, Me'orot. We really are grateful to you. And I want you to know you are having an influence. You know, you've really helped us to liven our davening here and pass it on to our congregation. And we are grateful to you. I hope you feel that
My pleasure. Thank you all
nachas in
for
your
being
Hanukkah.
Yeah.
And even though I know, absolutely. So
Thank
wish
you.
you a happy Hanukkah. Wish all our community happy Hanukkah and a Freude Hanukkah. And just, you know, God willing, Joe, we look forward to seeing you, God willing, someday soon, not only on the internet, but God willing in person. Irtz Hashem eventually when it's safe. Be safe.
Great. I'm going to hang out here for another few minutes with, you know, for whoever, you know, the concert over. But in case anybody wants to, you know, stay and reflect or whatever, I'll be around for at least a little while here.
That's awesome. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Joey.
All right. Everyone who's free to go is free, but those like to stay a little extra. It's a real special schut and opportunity. And if some of our peeps are into Jewish music, this is your chance to talk to a minister. So enjoy.
A pleasure.
Joey, my husband plays the mandolin, and he came in the room and said he thought you might be being a little modest when you said that 40% of adults down here played better than you.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, mandolin's a very sweet thing.
If you played violin when I was a kid.
Oh, he wants to know if you played violin when you were a kid.
No, I didn't. I would like to someday be a fiddle player. I can play fiddle a bit, but you know, it's nothing that I would want to bring out here, for example.
We have some fiddle players on the call.
Oh, good.
Or we did.
Yeah, man. The mandolin is nice. When I was living in New York, I worked as a session musician, playing in films and on albums and all kinds of different things. And the thing that I got called for the most was the mandolin, you know, because there were about a zillion good guitar players in New York City and a few good mandolin players. So you could make a living doing that. So. Though my mandolin teacher, I had a mandolin teacher, a really great bluegrass mandolin player who taught me in college at Columbia. And when I was a pre-med student, and I was thinking about becoming a musician, and I said, so I'm thinking about becoming a musician. And he said, don't do it. So. Yeah, then I became a mandolin player. So, well, thank you all, Julia and rabbis and Kathy and the folks who put this together and whoever made it possible in whatever ways financially, and I appreciate it. and it's nice to get to be with you. So,
Thanks, Joey.
Thanks, Joey.
Shavua Tov,
Shavua Tov,
everybody.
everyone.
Thank you for being here.
Pieces.
Great to see everybody and Tavin together. Laila Tov, everyone. See you at the
Okay.
next Hanukkah event.
Bye.
okay,
All right.
bye.